The Chicago's picked up somebody, but he gonna be in the G League. And then we got to talk about what's going on with the Chicago Bulls' latest losing streak. Is it more so on injuries, or is it more so on the identity or play style of the squad? And then the Chicago Bulls got a matchup versus the Milwaukee Bucks later today. Y'all know me and CDubb gonna talk about it all and break it down. But you gotta hear the music first.
Cognac, gang.
Shot Boys Podcast with the Cognac Boys. I'm Cognac Boy Bobby, and I am with my dog, CDubb. What's the word?
What's the word, man?
Man, if y'all tuned in with us today, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell as well. Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday, the Chicago Bulls picked up themselves a young prospect. They signed Emanuel Miller to a two-way contract. This player is 6'7", played 5 seasons in college, and has been spending time down there with the Dallas Mavericks before the Chicago Bulls picked him up. CDubb in the G League, he's averaging 18-8 on 37% shooting from the three. Real quick, how you feeling about this pickup?
I don't feel anything about it because he fits something. He fits a certain skill set that we already have on his team, an abundance of. I guess they seen something in him. He's like a tweener between a small forward and a power forward.
Right.
So basically, it's another Julian Phillips, another Patrick Williams. We got enough of those. We got a Montes Buzelis with cooties right now. So it does nothing for me. We'll see what happens. He obviously is good enough to be playing the NBA. He's destroying the G League. So let's just see what happens to him. I don't too much trust this developmental process of the Chicago Bulls.
For sure, I respect that. You just gotta live with what it is. The Chicago Bulls are trying to bring some talent in the building, and I ain't mad at it. You can't really be too excited for it or be disappointed. Really, I'm with you. You got to be more so on the neutral side of it and just see what comes out of this for this young player. But CDubb, they signed him to a two-way contract. The Bulls are only allowed to have 3, like any other NBA team. Those 3 players that they got is DJ Stewart, Adama Sanogo. Oh my God, how we forget the last person again?
EJ Liddell.
There we go. And EJ Liddell. So do you think it's looking more so like DJ Stewart might be giving up that two-way contract? Or do you think it's one of the other fellas before we move on?
I'm going to just go and say because they play the same type of position. I think EJ Liddell is a tweener as well between small forward and power forward. I'm going to say it's EJ Liddell. That he's the one that probably loses his gig.
For sure. I ain't mad at it. We'll see what happens. Let us know who y'all think might be giving up that contract for Emanuel and going to make way for Emanuel Miller coming in. 6'7", played 5 seasons in college and been handling his business down there in the G League so far this season. But CDubb, the Chicago Bulls, they on a 3-game losing streak. Not the end of the world, but it ain't looked the best neither because they should have had a win in the win column in their last game. But the Chicago Bulls, CDubb, have lost to Boston, the Bucks, and Atlanta. What would you say is the more contributing factor to the latest on the Bulls losing streak? Do you think it's more so on the play style that these guys play, or do you think it's been due to the injuries? You talking about Ayo was out last game, Lonzo was out last game, Josh Giddey was out last game. So they had a number of people. Wow, I don't even know if we seen Jalen Smith last game, if I remember correctly, maybe a little bit there. But what do you think is contributing to this 3-game losing streak?
Well, it's not going to be the play style because the Bulls play the way they play. They're not going to play defense. They're going to hit their threes, and they're going to run up and down the floor. I'm going to have to obviously say it's the injuries. All these names that's missing in action, Ayo all the way down to Lonzo Ball, to Montes Buzelis, are key contributors to this young NBA team, no matter how good their record is or how bad their record is. They have an impact. I can go down the list if you want, but I don't need to because every last person, including Jalen Smith, I think he played last game
I
too.
think he did, yeah.
Uh, every last one of these players has a significant role on this team so far early in the season, and it's going to be hard to win games. Even though you still have talent on the floor without those guys, they still contributed to the overall team's success, and that's in quotation marks. So, yeah, it's injuries, obviously.
Yeah, I think that's a good point too. But I think that though the injuries have been a part in this, I say the play style plays a part in it too. You live by the three, you die by it. And I think that, especially when you look at the Atlanta Hawks game, the Bulls came out firing. And then once those things dried up, it was just, you know what I'm saying? We can contribute to you missing guys like Ayo Dosunmu, who's gonna be a consistent threat, especially down the stretch of the game. We know how well he guards Trae Young, and we seen in that Atlanta Hawks game, Trae Young seemed like he was a little bit more happy that he wasn't out there. I'm just saying, he looked a little more happier and was at. I guarantee if Ayo Dosunmu wasn't in that game, he wouldn't be hitting game-winning threes like that. Well, not game-winning threes, but lead taking threes at the rate that he was doing it. The man hit a three to pull it within three, and then hit another three to tie the game, and then help this team go out there and eventually take the lead and win the game. So I do agree with you. Injuries have played a part in this, but I also think we cannot forget about the play style too, because you live by the three and die by the three, and we know that defense has been an issue all season.
Well, just by your take, you got to eliminate the play style as a reason uh, because of an injury, Trae Young was able to play loose. The play style is the play style. They've been playing this way since the start of the season. It's not going to change. It's just going to change the personnel on the court. It's going to change because they're out, and these guys ain't used to the amount of playing time that they used to the amounts of player time they usually don't get. I.e., look at Catfish. Catfish had 23 points. Catfish hasn't played more than 5 minutes in total and significant minutes this entire season. I.e., see what happens. They lose in games. So I do not blame this anything on the play style. The play style is what it is. I blame it on injuries.
I'm gonna blame it on both. I think you got to look at both, because if you just chucking threes and once they don't start to fall, we be on the screen yelling, drive to the basket. Those things contribute to it as well. And that part of that is coaching, and part of that is on the players, more so coaching. We'll both at least agree to that it's more so coaching. If you see your team starting to lose momentum and give up so much more than what you're allowing, you got to do something else, Billy Donovan, right? So I say all that shit is it is what it is. Teams lose 3-game losing streaks is nothing that we gonna sit there and overreact to. Teams going 3-game losing streaks all the time, but both things could be true.
Especially if you're missing most of your players that star on your team. So I think it's just injuries. Nephew got his opinion. He's wrong,
you hard head. That's the problem.
He's wrong.
you act like two things can't be true.
The question was these last 3 losses, not the entire season. You looking at a grandscape. I'm looking at the 3 losses.
I am too. You was up. And once the fire went out, y'all couldn't recover. I'm just saying.
We was relying on Catfish. What you think was gonna happen?
But yeah, Catfish, he earned his name that day. We ain't even call him Javon Carter. We was calling him JC. He earned a nickname that day in the first quarter.
That's name, Catfish.
Hey, he returned back to Catfish in the third. Hell, in the second. Fuck is you talking about? He ain't scored much after that. You know what I'm saying?
On the real.
Not much after that, but you live with it. You live with it. So y'all let us know. Do y'all think it's a little bit of both, or do you think it's more so of injuries, or do you think it's more so of play style for the Chicago Bulls? Now, CDubb, let's talk about the matchup that we got tonight versus the Milwaukee Bucks. The last time the Chicago Bulls played the Milwaukee Bucks, no Giannis, no Dame, no problem. Them guys went out there and showed the Chicago Bulls like, yeah, y'all still little brother right here. At least in one game. Now, the Bulls have played the Milwaukee Bucks well over the last few seasons, regardless of who was in the lineup. Not necessarily winning all of them, but playing well. But C-Dub, before we get into tonight's game, we got some injuries to talk about. We got Andrew Jackson, who's a game time decision, along with Giannis, Dame, AJ Johnson. AJ Johnson is out, and Chris Middleton. All those four guys are game time decisions for the Bucks. 5 game time decisions for the Bulls. Giddey, Buzelis, Jalen Smith, Ayo Dosunmu, and Lonzo Ball. Knowing what you know and what we talked about, how you looking at this game?
It depends.
And I believe we're at home. So
yeah,
take that into account.
Really been bad. You have to take that into account because we has been really bad at home. I think it's ultimately going to count on who's available to play. We're missing a lot of players who impact the game a lot for this team. It's going to take us being perfect to beat a team like this. I'm only going by what I saw us not be able to beat a team without Giannis or Dame Lillard, and they still handled us the entire game. So I don't have too much confidence in this next game unless I see the roster, who's available. It's to start the game, but we at home too, and we can't play at home for some reason, so it's not looking good.
Yeah, it's definitely not looking good. The Chicago Bears. Why do you want to talk about the Bears? The Chicago Bulls hold a 4-11 home record. C-Dub. Yeah, you would think that the young guys feel a little bit better at home, but I guess the pressure from the fans. Hey, the Bulls, the fans ain't doing nothing. They gonna show up if y'all lose the next 8. I'm just saying they gonna show up. Ain't no pressure to feel. At least give them a win, right? But I look at that last game. Well, at least the last game versus the Hawks, and you say that, man, we needed a point guard out there. I ain't saying Josh Giddey and Lonzo has to play, but we need the availability of at least one of these guys to give ourselves a better chance. We talked about the Lonzo Ball being up for in trade rumors and stuff like that, and y'all know my question was, okay, you getting rid of a point guard, who's gonna be able to fill in when Josh Giddey got to sit down? And Josh Giddey been dealing with injuries, so we need to figure it out. And I think that these guys are going to be important to the success of what they want to do tonight. You need both of these point guards. Hopefully they can come in. I know some of these guys are battling sicknesses and illnesses, maybe the stomach bug. I don't know. But hopefully these guys can get their shit together because it's going to be a huge matchup. Me personally, I anticipate Giannis and Dame playing. And the Bulls, they need all their reinforcements in there because you don't want to continue to slide. C-Dub, the Chicago Bulls are now 10th in the East right now.
Yeah, I don't think that Dame will play today. He is doubtful. Giannis is questionable. I think Giannis maybe plays. He's a tough guy. That might mean that he plays. It's just going to be a tough game for us. We don't have 2 of our best playmakers maybe for this game with illness and ankle injury. We'll see what happens. Jalen Smith is even on the injury report as well. Let's see if he plays. So it's just going to be a tough game. We can win if we get hot. You know, you still got Zach and Kobe and Patrick Williams is out there, Julian Phillips. We can win if we're hot, but not with our whole, you know, we got to have our whole gun collection out there. Our guns, we missing some switches. We missing some switches.
I think Patrick Williams, he going to have a hell of a night for himself, and he always plays Giannis tough. It doesn't necessarily stop him.
Yeah, what is confidence in Patrick Williams?
I mean, he's always going to guard Giannis. Yeah, he's always guarded him well. Doesn't mean nobody's stopping Giannis. Nobody is stopping him, but can you slow it down and make every basket for him tough? Patrick Williams has shown he can do that. That's going to be one of the biggest things today. C-Dub, you ain't called the damn Bulls game in a week, right? Yep. You ain't called the last 3 games. You definitely ain't called Atlanta because that was the Bears game. Monday was the day before. That was Christmas Eve. No, the day before Christmas Eve. I don't remember us calling that game. And then that Boston game, I think you was out too. Or no, you called that solo.
No, I ain't called a Boston game. That was
that means 3 games again. You ain't going there and yell, put it in. The Bulls lost. So maybe you can help them put it in today.
Okay, okay. I like the way. I guess the way that sounds. You know what I'm saying? Hey, but we back tonight. I think that's what nephew trying to get
We
at.
back. That's what we
We
saying.
back. He ain't have to put it in such a way. You know what
I
I
know,
mean?
right? Hey,
Right.
it's okay. It's Saturday, man.
Yeah, we back though. We gonna be showing out. We gonna be back on YouTube, back on all your social media platforms, calling the Bulls again. It's been a crazy week. Lots of holiday celebration, but I'm glad I'm back to it. We back to it. Let's get back to the bullies, man, because the Bears they over. You know what
They
I'm saying?
owe it.
They been
I ain't even
over.
gonna ask you to put it on wax and pick a winner because you're gonna pick the Bulls, right?
Of course. What's my name? The Homer of
That's
Homers.
no fun, bruh. No fun.
What's no fun? You want me to? What you want me to do? Look at this shit on my hat. Chicago Bulls, bro. Look at that shit in the backdrop. I'm the Homer of Homers, bro. I don't give a fuck. We gonna win this game by 50.
50 piece. We need it. Somebody call up Sharks. Tell her we need 100 pieces.
Ooh, that sound
Bro,
good today. Ooh, that sound good.
don't it?
I'm
Order that
glad you
bit
said
before the game. Cause y'all know bro gonna be eating on the game. During the game. Fuck is you talking about? But hey, we appreciate y'all. CDubb, you got anything left?
Make sure y'all check in later on. We back on tonight, y'all.
We back on. Make sure y'all tune in. We're gonna have much more fun calling the Bulls game than the Bears game over the last month. So make sure we tune in and we move on. It's time to move on to basketball. Football for us we shouldn't have no emotions attached to football now. Now we could just watch carefree. Now let's put some emotion into the Chicago boy, at least a little bit, and come on and cheer them and see if they can get this dub at home.
Yep.
We'll see.
Yep.
But
No, I said yep, I agree. Yep.
For sure. But that is it from us today, y'all. Before y'all get up out of here, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell as well. The voice line is open. You can call in and be a part of a mailbag episode, but you got to call in and give your take on the state of the Chicago Bulls. The number to do so is 773-242-9219. We appreciate y'all. Make sure you always see red. And of course, we're going to catch y'all on the next one for sure. Peace out, y'all. Cognac. Gang.